Aboard the International Space Station, Alex Gerst in the foreground, Reed Wiseman next to him on his left as they monitor the approach of Dragon inside 100 meters now to the station. The earliest capture point arrival scheduled just about now. But the plan is for the spacecraft to arrive about 100 feet from the station just a little bit after 5 a.m. Central, about 8 minutes after the hour. At that point, there'll be another station keeping essentially in a hold position while all of the flight control teams caucus to assess the health of the spacecraft before heading from the 100-foot point to the capture point arrival. That about 35 feet from the station within arm's reach of the station's Canadarm2. That will be under the control of Gerst, located there in the cupola module. The Dragon is currently now about 72 meters from the station. That's about 230 feet. Beautiful view with the contrast of the white Dragon spacecraft against the African continent up on the northwest corner of Africa. Should track out across the ocean once again before swinging across South Africa. About 200 feet from the station's capture point arrival of 35 feet. And a close-up view of the grapple fixture on the Dragon spacecraft. Traveling 5 miles per second, same speed, obviously, as the International Space Station, so the relative motion between the two is essentially zero as SpaceX oversees the command and control of the Dragon as it approaches the station.
Houston Station on 2 for Block Bravo updates.
With you on 2.
Hey Serena, on Port 1 lower outboard, everything looks real nice. And on S1 lower outboard, where we were seeing 3 vehicle widths, now we're down to just outside the core, to the just outside the outline, and it's converging nicely.
Copy that, Reed. We are seeing the same thing down here.
And the robotics officer using detailed up-close views with the cameras on the robotic arm of the flight releasable grapple fixture on the SpaceX Dragon to ensure that there's no FOD or foreign object debris of any kind that would hamper the grapple of the spacecraft. We're standing by for the cruise call that all of the cameras are in the proper position to proceed inside 30 meters. All of the flight control positions are have been pulled and they are go for continued approach. And the overlay that the crew looks at with the distance down in the right bottom right corner there showing 30 meters pri and secondary readings that the crew has the filter, and you can see a beautiful view of the station's robotic arm in the capture position and Dragon there at the top. That is a distance of 100 feet from the, essentially 100 feet from the station. The capture point arrival is targeted to happen or occur about 46 minutes after the hour. So the crew is ready. SpaceX mission director has been given the go to proceed with the approach.
Station Houston on 2 for Dragon.
Go ahead, Serena.
Dragon has begun its approach from 30 meters. Your go for step 5 in 1.102.
Step 5 is in work. We can verify that our mode is approach. The pri range is decreasing, now under 30, looking great. And for corridor monitoring Block Bravo, everything is nice and aligned up here now.
We copy all. That's great news.
At the upper portion of the Dragon, of course, is the return vehicle, so that cargo that's to be returned to Earth that can be placed inside the Dragon. The down mass of the spacecraft cargo is targeted to be a little more than 3,200 pounds.
Station Houston on 2 for Dragon.
We're with you on 2, Serena.
Dragon is holding at the capture point. You're go to perform step 6 in 1.102.
Okay, we're putting step 6 in 1.102 in work.
$10 meters, or about 32.8 feet from the International Space Station. That's the capture point arrival. You see the overlay, basically putting the station's latching end effector in close proximity to the Dragon spacecraft. Essentially, this will be a hold point while all of the teams caucus. The expected capture time is about 20 minutes from now. While the crew repositions the cameras, refocuses on the Dragon spacecraft, Chris Edelin, flight director here in Mission Control, pulling each flight control position for a go for capture. And just under 10 feet to capture. All of the station's attitude control system has now been inhibited. Essentially, the station is in free drift for this procedure. Robotic arm end effector now about 5 feet from the grapple fixture. standing by for capture by Alex Gerst in control of the station's robot arm.
And Station Houston on Space to Ground 2. Alex Reed, outstanding capture. Well done capturing that Dragon.
Thank you, Serena. We copy all. This was indeed a great flight of the Dragon towards the station, and we're happy to have a new vehicle on board. With that, we would like to congratulate all the teams on the ground at SpaceX, at NASA, the combined teams, all our trainers, the VDOs, for making this first part of the mission so successful. We're looking forward to continuing that success with that mission. We're continuing to move a lot of science out of this vehicle into our ISS, performing a lot of science in the next month. And with that, I would like to say big thanks from Reed and myself for all the support.
Copy all, Alex. We really appreciate all those words, and we know the team out in Hawthorne and everywhere appreciates your words as well.
And at 5:52 a.m. Central Time, 6:52 Eastern, the Dragon has been captured by the station's robotic arm under command of Alex Gerst. You heard those kind words from Gerst to the ground after he secured the grapple fixture inside the latching end effector of the Canadarm2. The next steps will be to assess all of the health of not only the Dragon but of the station in preparation for the berthing procedures, which will occur a little bit later this morning. After the crew takes a break, the Dragon will be repositioned with remotely controlled operations of the robotic arm to the berthing position on the Harmony module's nadir port, the Earth-facing docking port of the Harmony module, where Dragon will reside for the next month while the crew unloads all of the cargo, the 4,885 pounds of cargo that will be unloaded during the Dragon's stay aboard the station or at the station, and then the 3,200 plus pounds of cargo that will then be loaded aboard Dragon for the return home.